Hi traders and welcome to the PL Capital Market Review. I'm your host Paul. In this video I want to look at the S&P, Nasdaq, the Russell. Also going to look at the Biotech ETF. Also going to look at Nvidia. I think there's some interesting setups on those two trades, on those two assets. Also going to look at the FOREX pairs and the yields. So let's start. We'll start with the usual upcoming economic calendar. Very light week. Monday's a holiday here in the US, so no trading except for some very light hours for futures on Monday. And the only real big data point this week is going to come on Wednesday. It's going to be retail sales. Expecting just a slight increase from the previous month, 0.1% up. So not sure how big of an impact that'll have on the market, but it'll definitely make people feel good. If there's an increase, you do have a bunch of Fed speakers speaking throughout the week, so who knows what they'll be saying. And the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index is always something people watch. We'll see how big of an impact that is. And then consumer sentiment. So a very light week. Retail sales is really the only major data point coming out. All right, let's move on to the chart. All right, going to start off with the S&P. And I think all of this here, we're just making a big running flat. I think this move down is just a simple three-wave move. I think that's going to be the A wave. And we're inside of the B, and I don't think the B is done yet, because I think this is like A, B. Now I'm looking for the C wave, and I really only see three waves up to there. So I think this will be an ending diagonal. So I think that was one. I think they're going to come down for two, go up for three, go down for four, go back up for five. And finally break that high of 48.18 from the January 22 high. So I think we'll finally break that, and that'll complete this B wave, and then we'll get a strong sell-off here, down to, not super hard, but like 75, maybe a 100-point drop, and then back up one more time. And so the look will be looking something like that. We'll see how high they take it, but definitely once you get above here, you got to be really careful when they break 48.18, because at any point this drop could come in. So if you're kind of a short-term trader, taking at least partial profit up here, and then you can add down here for one more wave up. So that's my base case for what the S&P is doing. So going to be kind of choppy, but grinding up towards that high. And then once we break it, then I think you're going to get a lot of profit taking, and this sell-off will be sharp and it'll get people scared, but that'll actually be the time to actually jump right back in for one more wave up. All right, Nasdaq. Now the Nasdaq, to me, is a little bit different, because this move coming down, I thought it was five waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like in a diagonal format, but they're hanging up here for an awfully long time. So I would think that if that's a leading diagonal, and then this definitely looks like a three-wave move, but they didn't really sell off today like I thought they were going to. I thought they would make a correction and then they'd come down somewhere before they go back up. So got to watch here. I think, just like when we look at the S&P on a real shorter time frame, I think the S&P actually needs to come down just a little bit more before it goes back up. So, I don't know, maybe a 30 point, 20, 25 point drop, I guess. So nothing big. But like on the Nasdaq, I think they got to come down a little bit more, because this only looks like three waves here. So not unless they're making like a diagonal. That's one, that's two. Maybe they'll come down for 3, 4, and a 5. I don't have to break that low, but I should be pushing down a little bit more, and then definitely going back up. Because I see when I zoom out, we had this. I thought this was just one straight shot. I think somehow there has to be like this running. It must be 5 ways down to there, and then they made this little running flat, because I thought that was all just one piece, and they should be correcting, and then coming off near down here before they go. But I don't think that's in play, because this whole move up I've got labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, which means this is going to correct and then go up, and I don't think they're going to just come up to here and then reverse it all the way down to there. So I think that move somehow is a 3-wave correction, and I only see up, but I think for the Nasdaq it looks like it needs to come down more. So bottom line, I'd only be looking for buy setups on all the markets right now. Russell, all right, so they came right into this zone, which I think is going to be 4, because I think we had this 1 and a 2, and then this is all 3. This is 4, and then they'll go up one more time, and then make a bigger correction after that. So Russell, I think definitely one more up to go break that 2071 high. And it definitely looks like they've got, to me, this looks like this is a running flat right here, and it's not done. Well, the correction part is done, but it looks like they just need to come down. And yeah, I don't, it's really strong. I guess that could be the C wave. No, it can't be. They didn't break the A. So yeah, no, this needs to come down. It probably will correct up and then come down and then go. So I think this will just turn out to be a running flat ABC and then go. All right, so now I'm going to move over to Biotech. So as I've been saying, Biotech's getting a lot of press on TV. And I see this move up from October low. I got it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 waves are in, and I think now they're starting a correction. And then there is, like I said in my last video, there is one pattern that this is an ABC. And then this ABC could be A, this is all B, and then you got a 5-wave C right there. There is the potential that they could come all the way down to 6180 one more time. That is not my base case at all, but the possibility does exist, so you do have to be prepared for that. But what I'm looking for is that 5-wave move correct down into here, so like 87, maybe even down to like 82, and then continue up to go at least break 95.17. Now we don't know actually that this 5th wave is really done, because they could extend it. I do see 5 waves in this little wave, but this could be correcting to go up. So if it doesn't, so you might not get down to 87 if this first wave here that I got labeled as 5, that might be just the first wave of 5, and this is all correcting for 2, going to go up for 3, 4, and 5, and then this fifth wave will be way over up here somewhere. So we don't really have confirmation yet that the fifth wave is even done. So it might not get down here, but I do believe if we zoom in that they got one more wave down, because when I count this, I see this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 waves, and now they pulled back in 3 up to here. And so now I'd like to see a 5-wave move down, and I don't see 5 waves yet here. It's kind of, I only see really 3. So I'd like to see them at least come down and break that 89.29, and then look for a buy setup here, because it could be that'll be the ABC for 2, and then they're going up. But like I said, they could also target here, but I'd only be looking for buy setups. I think you're going to be able to get it underneath 89.29, but you know, one of these, either from here or for down, you know, and then you're going to be targeting above 95. So that got a really nice trade setup on Biotech. And then I just want to look at Nvidia. So this has got a lot more up, because when I look at this move here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it's got to go break its high that it set this week. Break that 553 level for 5 waves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when we zoom in, you can see that this fifth wave, all I see so far is this is just 1, and I do see 3 waves, 1, 2, 3. So I think that's 1, and that's 2. So it's got to go up for 3, 4, and a 5. So I got a lot more in Nvidia. So I think they'll be targeting this 562, and preferably something higher than that. It could go all the way up to, well, it could go up to a lot more, but I think like 562 to 578, somewhere in this zone is where this fifth wave will end. So a lot more. So if Nvidia is going to be going up, what is this from where we are right now? Yeah, at least 3%. I could see maybe even going up another 5%. So obviously, if Nvidia is doing that, then the overall market's going to be pushing up higher too. So that just confirms what I see on the Nasdaq index, that just going to keep pushing up. So nice to see that Nvidia supports that. All right, let's move on to currency, Forex world. Start with the US dollar index. And from my last video, I mean, the dollar just went sideways. So where were we? Today's the 12th. What did that be? 5, like the 6th? Yeah. So we were here in my last video. I mean, like exactly where we are right now. So the whole week we just traded in this range. So for all of Forex, nothing has really changed. I think this is all still the same. That you had, this looks like it's just a simple 1, 2, 3, but I don't think that's all the correction. I think they'll come up one more time. So just like last week, you know, they had this strong move down and then just sideways. So, and I don't see like anything that could be like a and a B. I don't see a C wave yet. So I think this dollar's going to come down somewhere one more time, but then go up one more time, and then that'll complete like this ABC, and then they'll come down and break this 100 level. So kind of just still some small, you know, like I think another push down. Maybe it'll come down a little bit more, but just a little push down and then a push up and then still come back down. So it's still kind of choppy, but I think it won't be in this tight of a range. I think they'll finally get going here. So when we look at The euro, you know, we're going to see the same thing. You know, just price has gone sideways all week. And, you know, I just see one push up. Now this one on the euro, they did break it, but it doesn't look, I don't think that's a C wave. So I think this is all just correcting, and then they're going to resume back up. So I don't think that this correction is done yet. So I'm just looking for more up on the euro. The pound, yeah, just looking for it to come up after this running flat here to go break that high. And this too, it's just, you got that one strong candle and then a lot of chop. I think, you know, got like ABCs coming here. I think this is all just going to turn into a big running flat in here, and then it's just going to take off. So I'd only be looking for buy setups to go break the high and higher. All right, CAD. All right, so after that 5-way move, they did come down in 3 ways right into this zone, so that looks nice. So the only question is that all the correction? And now they go up. And so far, you don't have any real structure. I mean, it's just pretty much straight up. There's this like little 1, 2, 3. So I could definitely see like this, like that was A, and then they just finished B, and then they come down one more time, and then they take off. And onto the yen. Got to zoom out on this one. So they completed that running flat. So I think that's an ABC down. And so far, now obviously there's going to be some price action coming, but so far, all I see is just an ABC. But that could quickly change because this 5-way move right here, this little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, it could be that this is 1, 2, and then this is 1, 2, and then we'll get a 3, 4, 5, and that's 3, and then a correct for 4, and then go up for 5 again. So we just don't have enough. You know, it also could be that this ABC, that's A, they just completed B, and now they're going to come all the way down one more time for the C and then go. Because all I see for the yen is that they got to come and break this high. So it's just a matter of are they gonna come from somewhere here, or do they got one more trip down and then go? So only looking for buy setups. All right, moving on to the yields. We're gonna do the 2 and 10 year. And this is getting really strong here, obviously. And it looks like they might be creating a really big diagonal. I'm not totally sure yet. It looks to me like we've got, this is an A, B, and then ending diagonal for C. And then they made this expanding flat here. So it could be actually like a WXY, I guess. I want to see what happens over here, but it's not done going down. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a diagonal, and this was 1, and that was 2, and now they're going to come down for 3, and then a 4, and then still more down for 5, or is this all? It doesn't look like a WXY to me. So we'll be able to figure it out when this is done. But when I zoom in, we can see that they're not done going down, because this is a diagonal, so it's 1, 2, 3 for 1. That's 2, 1, 2, 3. This is 3. I think they'll come up a little bit more, maybe back to that 4, 2, 3 level for 4, and then still go down one more time for 5. And I think they'll be targeting like right around 404. Could even, yeah, at 4%, I think is going to be a really good place where this will stop. And then at that point, then we'll have to see the reaction after that happens, because that could be just the first part, and then it'll correct up, and then still more down. So, but more, a little bit up for 4, but then we got it. It'll come back down. So I see yields coming down around to that 4 area, and that'll be. Then we'll have to see the reaction, how strong of a bounce it gets. And the 10-year, so it's just gone sideways pretty much all week. So unlike the 2-year, it didn't break its previous low, and it's just correcting here. Now it already came into this area where I think it should be getting rejected, but this was really ugly. This was a big triangle here. I think that all this is going to be is just like a 1, 2, 3. This is going to be a 1, 2, 3. I think it's going to have one more push up, you know, and low 4s, 4.1, 4.12, and then still coming down one more time. Because this was all really impulsive. So yeah, I'd like to see it come up. Yeah, it could come up to 4.25 or so, but somewhere in this range, it should be getting rejected for one more push down, and then I could see like a little bigger push coming up. So that's what I see on that. All right, so that's what I see on all those markets. Hope that helps. Thanks for your likes and support, and I'll see you in the next video.